You have been updated. Part 2. Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. This is a collective timeless reading, and I'm going to grab 3 cards today. Our first part, I will link it down below. You have been updated, part 1. This is part 2. You're currently in the cosmic vehicle and they're moving you. We have the Justice card. This is your justice. This is reciprocity from the universe. This is the answer to your prayer, or this is your manifestation coming in. I'm seeing the 3 of Wands. This can also be something along the lines of you're evolving into a higher version of yourself that you needed to become in order to fill these shoes. I just heard that. But this is justice for you. But what does justice look like? We always talk about that, right? Like, oh, these people are getting karma, or justice is happening. Like, you will have, I just heard, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I grew up with people quoting that a lot, right? Which is basically the same as these people are getting their karma, basically, right? And so, but what does it look like? This is the part people don't like to talk about. Well, some do, the honest ones, and I'm one of those, but what does the justice look like, right? Is it just all of a sudden your life just is amazing? For some people, there are miracles like that happen, and I believe the Merkaba is a miracle machine. It's a time machine. It's an angelic chariot that transports you and saves your life and takes you out of terrible situations, right? But it's also an ascension tool, and that's why we have the Hermit here. And I'm going to get into it. Wow, guys, the Empress. Some of you are being transported into higher levels of wealth and emotional stability where it's like in the Venus aspects of your life. Like, this is the stuff close to home, close to your chest. Like, you could have felt like, I just keep hearing the breastplate. See how he has this breastplate? The breastplate of righteousness, right? That's how I grew up knowing about it, but okay. 1, 2, and 3. But before I get into the cards, I just wanted to pull them this time so I actually get cards, because last time I didn't properly pull our spread. So this technically is the same reading. We're just continuing, right? Continuing from the last one. All right. You're in this Merkaba. It's a multi-dimensional machine. High-level technology. But this is really what I'm presenting, is this concept of, but you're actually the machine. That's why it's the Hermit. The Merkaba is, look at it this way. It's like your spirit, your soul, untethered. You can travel between dimensions. This is like the spirit aspect of you that can go wherever it pleases. It operates on a high frequency. You're operating on such a high frequency, in fact, that you're invisible with the Hermit and the time machine. This is like Hades' helmet. You cannot be seen. I love the Thoth hermit because it has Cerberus, the three-headed dog. I have a little metal lighter case that is Cerberus, the three-headed dog, and I use that to light all of my candles on my altar because I love Cerberus. And so when I saw Cerberus on the Thoth, my card, the Virgo card, the Hermit, I was like, this is just another sign that I need to learn this. So yeah. You're going to get sign after sign after sign after sign because you're traveling home. You could have felt lost at sea. That's why I pray to Stella de Marie, Star of the Sea. This is a little starfish. She's an aspect of Mother Mary. She helps to guide people who are traveling along the sea. And we have this Cancer energy, right, with the Chariot. So you could feel kind of like stranded, like out at sea, swimming through the dark, cold waters of this eternal seeming ocean. And that could be metaphorical for your emotions, or you could feel like you're overwhelmed, or whatever this may be for you. With the Hermit, you are equipped to not only survive this, but to come out the other side with wisdom. The ancient kind, right? The kind you can't learn from a book. And that's why you're coming through as the Empress, because the very thing that was meant to destroy you and keep you trapped in a prison of your own mind forever was actually the very thing that ended up protecting you. How ironic. So you could have felt like people tried to isolate you. Like, let's get practical with it. Like, say there was a group of people that were ganging up on you. I heard gang stalking. So for some of you, humiliation ritual. We have the Three of Pentacles heavily coming through in part 1. I'm seeing that again here. Now, the Hermit, he goes in his shell. And a modern version of this Hermit could be like someone pulling a hoodie, like a hood over their head and just like tying up the strings and just kind of going like in their shell. You know, like going emo with it. Or you guys could feel like just pulling your energy back or kind of staying away from things from your past that you feel you've closed out a cycle with. And that's exactly where you're meant to be. And that's what I mean by the very thing that was meant to trap you in your head, not in the physical world. See, they didn't bet on your street smarts, and for some of us, it manifests as physical people, and for others of us, it's more, with the World's card, it's more ethereal than that. It's etheric. It could be like you're battling against your own self with the Hermit, like past aspects of you, like you feel yourself updating and you're going into a higher level of something in your life, and you could be dealing with like imposter syndrome, or you could be dealing with I'm not good enough, or whatever like inner demons we could have. So that could be an aspect of this as well. It can also be because the Hermit just flew into the reverse. This can also be that you're being called as part of your, I'm hearing duty. So that's interesting. So some of you, this is like a spiritual calling that you have. And they're like, you've been in a time of isolation, or you've been in a time of hiding away. And that was correct for the time. But now they're calling you to come out and spread this light into the world. Everything that you've learned while you were in Plato's cave, so to speak, and tell the world what you know, share your wisdom. So for some of you, it's that. Some of you are actually being moved, as in you're being called to. I just started like smelling and tasting like some sort of like cough medicine or something like that. Some sort of medicine you take when you're sick. So feel better, guys, if you're not feeling well. Because I haven't had any of that taste. So I'm just saying. So that could definitely be for you. You could feel like, I don't even know if I have the strength to like live out my calling. That's part of this like upgrade that you're going through, or update, is it's going to, with the 8 of Wands and the Page of Wands, you're being filled with this power with the 8 of Wands, where you could feel like, I'm just this kid out here in the desert. Like, see the pyramids behind him? This is that ancient wisdom that we were talking about with the hermit. You could feel like this Page of Wands, but look at you on the inside. You're this hermit, right? But we all get in situations in our lives where we feel like something new is happening, and we had the Ace of Wands in my previous reading with the Page of Wands. It's like you're taking that Ace of Wands that we talked about in part 1, and here you are holding it. So even if you feel like shit, or you feel tired, or you feel like you want to stay in your shell, it's showing that you're following your calling. So this is literally just your guides being like, we are so proud of you for going against all odds and living in this higher dimensional reality that you deserve, that it's more than deserve. It's like you can't get away from yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. So for some of us, it's like we can't escape this calling, or we wouldn't dare want to, but you could just feel like you're going through some sort of an activation, or an upgrade, or an ascension with the Merkaba, the chariot, and you feel like you're about to go places, whatever that means for you, with the World, the Chariot, the 8 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. And you could be tempted like to stay in your shell, but this is what I'm getting. It's like, no matter what it is for you, whatever the fear is, or whatever the mental trap is, it's working for you somehow right now. That's what I'm getting. It's like it's your protection somehow. It could even be something like say there's this group, because they're showing up here, that's coming against you in some way, or it's energy, because they sniffed out this new beginning. See, here's the Ace of Wands right here to prove my point, talking about that Page of Wands, and he's holding the Ace of Wands and all that. And see, this is further back in the deck, so this is the backstory. This was before, now you're here. Whatever this bullshit is that I'm about to say, here you are holding the wand, holding the new beginning in your hand, already on your fucking way. So everything I'm about to say, it doesn't really matter. We're just giving context, right? Well, of course it matters. It's your story, but you know what I'm saying. So pressure, groups, competition, battling you for whatever reason, because they see that you're going to get some sort of a position or a person, or have a new beginning with the Ace of Wands, right? And that just comes with the territory of the Emperor. Like, if you're someone who is ambitious in life, this is what's going to happen every single time. That's just the nature of, like, even the animal kingdom, right? With the 5 of Wands. But we had the 5 of Swords in part 1. So now we have the 5 of Wands. So we looked at the more sharper aspects, the more serious aspects in part 1. Now we're looking at the more, it's like you're just getting hit with sticks here. So this could even be like you're a little bit further down the line, because we had the Ace of Wands in our previous reading, and now we have the Page of Wands, where you're holding the wand. You have a little space away from whatever that period of time was, that challenging period of time, and now you're ready to kind of like come out again with the Hermit. And this is what's interesting. Again, you're coming through as this Empress. Well, we have the Emperor as well. So male, female, non-binary, however you identify. Something that used to trap you, like a strategy that was used, or gaslighting, or gang. There's so much I could say. Like groups battling up against you to like humiliate you, like humiliation rituals, or to break you. The very thing that would have broken you in the past, because sometimes I look at the Eight of Wands as like somebody in a straitjacket for some reason. I'm seeing that here. The very thing that was meant to destroy you is the thing that is protecting you. So you have ascended, in other words, beyond some sort of mechanism. I'm seeing it like a bear trap, like the big claw. Those things are so powerful to trap a bear, right? It's like they look at you like this this ancient. He's coming through like a tree, actually, the Hermit, for me. It's like I'm seeing a bear moving through the woods, and all of the trees are your protector. It's like even the trees, because I do believe trees have spirits. Personally, I'm an animist. Even the trees protect you as you walk through the woods. It's like if this was a group coming up against you, or whatever happened here, if it's not a group, it's not a group. I'm just seeing it as a lot of energy with the Eight of Wands, and that can be up to 8 people if it's people. But even if it's just one person, I mean, it could be a real son of a gun here. If they're coming through as someone who meant to trap you like a bear in a trap. So whoever or however this works out, this is intentional, and it worked in the past, but this time it proved to be the thing. The trap ended up being the thing that exalted you in the end. Saint Bridget, the exalted one. I'm getting her coming through. So the Empress, this could even be like a deity coming through, reaching out. I'm seeing them reaching out to you, this feminine goddess energy. She sees you approaching in this Merkaba, and she's reaching out and giving you messages or insights or strength. I'm getting that scripture where Peter, I believe it was Peter, asked to be filled with boldness so that he could like continue his work as an apostle, right? And I'm not trying to get biblical on you guys. Not everybody likes that, and I respect that. I'm just saying I got that stuff locked in my brain from like years. And it makes sense to me. So basically it's like you could feel weak. When I'm weak, then I'm strong. So you could be filled by this goddess or this maternal presence. Maybe for you it's a guide, or it's an ancestor. I'm seeing her coming through as like a Maya Angelou type of presence here, and I do see Maya Angelou quite a bit. So she would be sending you strength, energy, encouragement, messages, but also raw energy. This would be like her saying, "Oh, let me fill your tank with gas." So it's like she's paying the $50 or whatever it costs to fill your gas tank, and you're just like, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much." I'm seeing you on the ground like bowing down before this goddess. I mean, I literally I bowed down personally when these angels or these deities or these guides come to me. My first instinct is to literally like bow down like the old days, but obviously you don't have to do anything. I'm just saying it's like that's the level of you would want to, because this is such a high level. I just heard a high level contract. Remember how I put out that series of contract readings last week? For those of you who resonated with that, this is part of the contract, is that this goddess or whoever this is to you, a higher level being, is here to help you, to assist you. as you, and that's only one aspect of it, as you travel, and this could be all happening well, it is all happening inside. It's all happening inside, but the way it manifests, it may in the 3D, something about May, something happening in May. You could also relate to May. We have the Empress, which can be like Taurus, right? What was I saying? All right, let's move. We don't have much time. A few weeks ago when I did the Herman bit, see, there he is. And I did my shorts. I came out with the lantern and I said, we don't have much time. I'm getting that again. And with the hermit that we have today, it's like, there's like an old guide. Sorry, I'm trying to straighten this. There's like an old guide here that, this would be like ancient hermetics, right? Is coming to you with some sort of ancient wisdom and helping you move through something here. It looks different for everybody what this is, but it's an ascension. It's maybe even an ego death, possibly, even though I don't have the death card here. It's coming through. If it was an ego death, it'd be something with the hermit. It would be like you agree that you want to change, or you want to do the work it takes to get where you need to go. Like you're asking for help or you're looking for wisdom. So that's what I mean by ego death in this context, is that it's not like, oh, we need to bash your ego down. You're getting out of hand here. It's not like that. That could be happening to those of you who rose against you at this time. Rose. My great grandmother's name is Rose on my mother's side, the Italian side. And sometimes she comes through for me. So you could even feel like ancestors coming through with the Empress that are literally guiding you. So there's a lot of ways this could be manifesting right now. Like, what is this Merkaba for you? Like, why are you in this chariot? Well, for some of you, this is like a high level meditation. Like, you might not feel like you're in danger, or, you might not feel, because I talked about the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups in part 1. That was a more intense energy. Right? So in this part, it's coming through as the 5 of Wands. It's almost like people screaming and like trying to attack you with pitchforks, but you're in this car. And as you're driving down the street, their voices, they start to get fainter and fainter and fainter, and you can barely hear them anymore. You just see them in the rear view mirror. So it could also be, like I said before, you could be getting away from that negative energy. So that's why it's coming through as more, it's coming through like a blunt wand as opposed to a sharp sword. Excuse me, guys. I started coughing. Your entire system is being updated, and for some of you it's like a school of thought with the hermit. You could feel like you are having some sort of ascension symptoms, even where it's making you, like, for me last week, I talked about it in one of my videos. I had this phenomenon happen to me, where I was shaking from head to toe. It started in my left hand. My hand started to feel like weird. It started shaking. It spread. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm saying this was something that happened to me. It started spreading through my entire body, and my teeth were clattering. I don't know the right word to use. And it was It felt like a demon was being exorcised from my body. Now, was it? Maybe. Some sort of attachment that has been, trying to destroy me, right? And I was being relieved from that because my whole body was shaking vehemently for an hour and a half. I felt truly, I didn't know if I was going to have to go to the hospital. Stuff like this has happened to me before. It's a spiritual experience. I didn't even have a fever. And I was tired for like 2 days after, but I wasn't sick. Like, I didn't have the flu. It wasn't a fever. It was a spiritual phenomenon. And I just saw a flash of rainbow light. This has happened to me many times throughout my life. I relate the rainbow light to Archangel Metatron. I've seen it with Uriel too. All right, I'm gonna slow down. Thank you guys. I apologize for my like haphazard relaying of these messages, but I feel like I'm in the car right now and I'm just like, you can like barely hear me. There's like a bunch of static and I'm like, I'm going through the wormhole, guys, but this is what's happening. I'll see you on the other side. It's like you can barely hear what I'm saying. I'll see you on the other side. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. But I'm still smiling. I still got rhythm in my stride. I'm still smiling. Still got humor by my side. Zippity doop da ba da da da. All right. So, for some of you, your protection is like humor. Like, so you don't like lose it. You're like, hey, we're all gonna die, man. This is like Hermetic's philosophy. This is like, okay, let's zoom out. That's very Merkaba. Let's zoom the fuck out. What is anything? I could just sit here and rot while everyone's screaming, banging on my door, and I could just sit here and meditate if I so choose. What is anything? Oh, you're gonna lose your house. Okay, I'll lose my fucking house if I feel like it. I'm just saying, it's like, to me, that's the kind of, that's where the hermit becomes the prophet. Does that make sense? Where it's like Ezekiel, Enoch. Like, that's, to me, that's an aspect of the hermit where, Moses, um, that's the aspect where everyone thinks you're insane, but you're actually the only sane one, because what is anything and why are you actually here? Right? So you could have gone so high up, your frequency went so high up that you no longer resonate with anything around you, to the point where people are like rising up against you and stuff because your energy, people say it like this, irritates their demons. And it's demons, whether you believe in demons or not, it irritates them at the very least. Or it's not physical people, it's you battling inside yourself. You could feel like you're having, I said this in part 1, deja vu. You could feel like you're flashing back to a previous really challenging time. But think about that time. What happened at that time? I talked about how at a previous time that I flashed back to recently, I had a huge update in my life, and that's what got me here. Now, a similar thing, I've been feeling things happening that feel similar to what they did before. So that to me, now, because I've been around the mountain a couple times, that to me is actually an indicator, and that's the Empress mindset. It's an abundance mindset. It's actually an indicator to me that I am ascending. I just heard recession indicator. I dropped the chariot and it flew into the reverse as I was saying those words. So it's like it's just funny because sometimes stuff like that happens to show me like I'm going to hit that abundance mindset right out of your hands. Like, and again, there are just forces at work as well. Like I see this Knight of Swords and the Eight of Wands as just like haphazard, like chaos magic, or just literally the winds that blow and they blow down trees, and those trees hit wires, and those wires turn off the electricity. Not everything is like a demon is assigned to you to attack you, but for some of you, it definitely is that. Or it definitely is like black magic or chaos magic that is pinpoint attacking you, right? And for others, it's like psychological stuff going on here that is trying to stop you, whether it's just patterns rising up in you from your past that you're having to overcome, or it's current events that are trying to keep you bound to a past version of yourself because they don't want to lose you. Like they feel you slipping away. They know you have a new beginning, and they know for some of them that you don't need them anymore because you're becoming this emperor. Like you're walking away. Or people have walked away from you because I see the 5 of Pentacles. Now we have all the fives. We have the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles in this reading, part 2. And in part 1, we had the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. So these are 5 readings. These are readings of change. Okay. So the very thing that was meant to like attack you or stop you or keep you stuck is actually this thing that's protecting you. And this is how I'm seeing it. The Merkaba is like a protective shield as well as a cosmic vehicle and an ascension tool. So I'm seeing it like this. Maybe you were kind of pushed into your shell because people were hitting you with sticks, or energy was, or a situation was. It put you into your shell to where you had to like protect yourself and focus on your vibration. And I'm seeing like this example of someone sitting and meditating, and you just start like levitating off the floor with this Merkaba energy. So the very thing that could have pushed you in your shell or caused you to even like crash out or shut down, like it could have felt really negative. You could have even felt embarrassed, like, wow, why did I like flash back to that? What happened to me? I thought I did so much growth, had so much growth, whatever. It's like the very experience that happened is what actually protected you because it forced you into this Merkaba energy. And for some of you, you were like praying, like crying out for help, and this Merkaba appeared to you in the form of a guide or an angel that was like, hey, get in. And then once you got in the vehicle, or this is what's going to happen, you remember the codes. You remember how to drive again. You remember this technology and how it works. And you remember who you are. Because when you get knee deep into these situations, sometimes we get mentally trapped because it's like so overwhelming and all we're thinking about is like survival or protecting ourselves or whatever. But what I'm seeing is this Merkaba, confirmation, it like snaps you back into your own frame, because it's like your system it's updated to a point that it all runs smoothly again. Like, if you don't update your iPhone, for example, the phone gets all glitchy and stuff, right? So that's what I'm seeing. It's like you could have been dealing with these weird glitches. I'm seeing this as like a mechanical error, like an error message popping up with the Eight of Swords and the Five of Wands. You could have felt like you were malfunctioning or something, but this is what I'm seeing. It's like you're coming out as the Empress. So this is an update. Not only are you running smoothly, or you will, but this is abundance. Like, this is a very positive thing for you, even if it felt negative getting here, or just challenging, or, emotionally tiring, draining, whatever. We all have our own reactions to this sort of ascension and update, just like a phone being updated. That's what's happened, and that's what's currently happening. So, all right. You have been updated. Card number 1 for the collective, the Six of Pentacles. This is a gift, this Merkaba. It's like someone giving you a car. I'm seeing it like this. I'm seeing it's the equivalent of someone handing you keys to a luxury vehicle and saying, it's yours. I'm also seeing that as like a house or an apartment or something. So or like a spare bedroom even. I know that's specific, but could be an analogy. But I'm seeing it would feel like that. Like someone handing you keys, like a place to stay. I'm hearing room and board. This could be, spiritually speaking as well, guys, where it's like giving your soul a place to rest, like before you get to the next thing. So kind of like a helping hand or a gift. Now, what I'm also seeing the Six of Pentacles as, again, with the Merkaba, it's outside of time. So this part gets a little trippy. I'm seeing this man on the Six of Pentacles handing yourself a gift from from the future. This is you. This is your higher self handing you a key from the future. So this is you. They're both you. You're the charioteer and you're the benefactor on the Six of Pentacles. You are your own. You're the benefactor. You're the Empress. See what I mean? It's like this is you in the future. This is what the update is for. You're giving yourself a piece of yourself from the future. But is it the future, or is it just another reality, timeline, dimension, whatever you want to call this? However you want to explain that, it's a gift and it's going to feel like a gift. But it's so seamless. It's such an updated system that you almost, it will feel natural. It's almost just going to feel like an epiphany, or you're just going to start to feel better or less tired, or you're just going to start to feel like, wow, I'm feeling good in my own skin. I'm feeling confident. I'm making more money, and this will happen over time. But all of this happened behind the scenes to become something that feels so natural. It's like this flowing stream behind the Empress. It grows all of this wheat, all of these crops, and she just sits here. You might even feel like, I'm just sitting here. I'm just meditating. And little do you know, for some of you, it's like prayer as well. Little do you know, or you're at work, I'm seeing that as you're just focusing on your daily tasks or meditating or praying, you're ascending and you don't even like feel how high you're rising up. Imagine it like this. You're at work and you start levitating off the ground and you're like, "Oh my God, I didn't even realize that was happening." and you like catch yourself and you realize like, oh my God, I'm ascending. With the Merkaba, it's like your frequency is rising to a point that it's gonna feel like you're just bringing in the fruit of your own labor, because that is what it is. But we often don't realize that we're planting these seeds along the way. We just look at it as like, wow, that was a really dark time. You know, some people look at the hermit and say that it was a dark night of the soul, which it can be, right? I mean, I guess that would mean that every day for me is a dark night of the soul because I'm a Virgo, right? What up, other Virgos? How you doing out here? All right, just checking in. But it's actually, well, let me say it like this. Say you went through a negative feeling time. That was actually a seed that was planted. It wasn't just lost. It's not like, oh, that sucked back there. Even if it was super negative, like say it was some past relationship and, you know, it was a negative experience and you never want to think about it again, that actually was a seed. Like that was valuable. Like there are lessons learned there, wisdom that you integrated. Now, not everybody does this, but since you are coming through as you are, I'm talking to an empress, hermit, charioteer. That's who I'm talking to. So for you, you went through situations that you turned into gold, right? You transmuted. Even if you didn't realize you were doing that, that's why it's going to feel like a gift, because it's almost like, oh shit, I forgot. I actually have $7,000 saved and I forgot I had that. It's something like that. You're the one who put the money in there every month, or you put it on automatic to take out of your account. And then you realize like 5 years later or something like, oh my God, I have $7,000 in here. I thought there was going to be like a few $100. So it's going to feel like exciting, positive, good. And for some, it's going to feel like you're getting your energy back. And it's going to feel like a gift. Like, you know, when you get really sick and you feel like you're never going to get better, like, I'm talking about like with the flu or something like that, guys, where you get deep in there and it starts to feel like, oh my God, what if I never feel better again? And then when you finally do feel better, you realize how much you took your health for granted, or at least that's what's happened to me, where I've been like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Like back when I hurt my back, I was so grateful that I could walk again. Like I took it for granted. I just remember thinking like how grateful I was that I could walk again after being like incapacitated like that for, you know, kind of a couple years, if I'm really honest, because I had one thing after another after another. And back when I was a Christian minister, I would have said that was the devil. Maybe. Because we're talking to powerful people here, right? That people that are here to shake things up. So, but back to the Six of Pentacles. So it's going to feel, this update, it's going to be like a pleasant surprise. Because you could have been like, I'm just happy I'm here. Like, I barely got here. I'm hearing that. So for some of you, you may feel like that's the gift, but there's actually this tangible quality to this, where, especially with the Empress too, you may start making more money. It might be a physical health update. It could also have something to do with your mind as well, with the Eight of Swords, where you could have felt blocked before. You could have had imposter syndrome before. You could have struggled with insecurities with the Five of Pentacles that caused you to kind of shut down with the Hermit and not like do the things you want to do with the Ace of Wands. And I'm seeing that don't beat yourself up, because in the past you had to protect yourself, or you had to, everything always happens at that time for a higher reason. I truly believe that. But with that said, those experiences you went through were investments. They weren't just things you barely survived. They're much more than that. They were investments into your future, and you're seeing the fruits of your labor now because of this update. It's almost as if, because you were scattered in the past, for some of you it's literally because of like spell work and stuff like that, with the Five of Wands and the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands. And not everybody believes in that, and that's totally fine, guys. You can just look at this as like just interference. I believe on the Eight of Swords in the Thoth, I think it says interference. Correct me if I'm wrong. So for some people here, like if you don't believe it's spell work and all that, I respect that, guys. Either way, we still come up with the same result. You could have felt like overwhelmed, man, where you like couldn't function as you normally would and stuff. Mind could have been racing with the Knight of Swords and everything. And I'm seeing an all-around update of your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, because you're ascending in this Chariot. Because it almost feels like it's someone else is driving with the Chariot, right? Yes and no. It's kind of like your higher self is driving and you're along for the ride, because it's kind of like a high level meditation or astral travel where you could just be sitting there like this Empress, but inside you're traveling through time and space. You have been updated. Card number 2 for the collective, the Queen of Wands. See, remember how before, let me grab it. Before I said, and it's coming through again, the Ace of Wands, you were given this Ace of Wands, this new beginning, or a spark of inspiration, or raw energy to work with. Then you took that, just like you did before. You took negative things and turned them into positive things, right? This, though, is a little different. This is in the Wands suit. That's the Pentacles. That's like going through something really hard in the physical world and making it work for you, turning it into some sort of tangible, valuable life lesson and using that to your advantage. This is the Wands. This is much more magical, creative. It can even have to do with like Lilith energy, like confidence, dark feminine. Even if you're a man, guys, it's like that Lilith energy, like your Black Moon Lilith in your birth chart. It's not masculine or feminine based. It's, anyways, it's just like, it's kind of like your dark side in a way. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm saying you could have been pushed up against a corner and you had some sort of awakening. See the black cat? That woke up this black cat aspect of yourself, where maybe you had to become kind of strategic here with the Eight of Swords, or you had to learn how to protect yourself in different ways, and it could have woken up this black cat aspect of you, right? Where you had to become, wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, or really gentle as a crow, sly as a fox, really, is what we're saying here with this Queen of Wands. But this is what I'm seeing. So it's a progression. It goes from the Ace of Wands to the Page of Wands to the Queen of Wands, and she's the one in the actual spread. The Page and the Ace of Wands were at the bottom of the deck, which to me, it kind of leads into the main spread. So what they're showing is that you've already been evolving. You've already been ascending. And now it's like you're having a revelation. This Six of Pentacles is almost like you're looking in the mirror. And you're realizing how far you've come, how much you've changed, how you're more confident now, how you are brave. I'm hearing brave beyond reproach. And the Queen of Wands is very magical. Like, she would have this sort of a car, right? She'd have keys to the Merkaba. And again, I I can't get away from this imagery of how the man is giving the coins, right? On the Six of Pentacles, but I'm seeing it like this man giving keys to the car, keys to this chariot. So you could even have a guide or a mentor in the physical reality. Since it's Pentacles, this could literally be like you're learning something with the Hermit. Some sort of wisdom here that's unlocking the door to this Merkaba. Do you see what I'm saying? And the Queen of Wands would have the audacity to do such a thing. Like, she's the one who's going to go first. She'll take the risk to open the door. Like, she knows about this realm of the crow and of the black cat. And if she is being given some sort of a key to a mysterious vehicle, she has the courage to turn that bad boy on. She'll drive that thing around the block, right? She'll take it for a spin. So the Queen of Wands, she has a lot of courage. Even if she's scared, she still goes for it. You have been updated. Trying to sound like a robot. You have been updated. Card number 3 for the collective. The Wheel of Fortune. That's what this is, guys. Like, that's where we're going. That's where this chariot's taking you. From the 7 to the 10. So maybe you used to work a 9 to 5, but now you're working a 7 to 10. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But with the Wheel of Fortune, again, this is one of these cards. It's more like this. See? This is like spiral dynamics, the Wheel of Fortune. This isn't... The Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot, they're outside of time. The Wheel of Fortune is like the map or the GPS that the chariot is using. So we were talking earlier about the chariot being like a high technology, like an interdimensional vehicle. The Wheel of Fortune is kind of like what the chariot is running off of, if that makes sense. Like, this system here that lies within the Wheel of Fortune, well, it's kind of like this can be one aspect. It's like the Akashic records. See how they have all these books? And we have the hermit again. This is very trippy because for a lot of people, this is some sort of wisdom, esoteric understanding, enlightenment, ascension process that is tapping you into your fortunes with the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune. So you may not even be like trying necessarily to like increase your money, like increase your fortunes, become more, maybe even become more confident or become more brave or become more attractive or become more magical, more talented, more able to do those things with the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands, but that's what's happening. See what I mean? That goes back to the 6 of Pentacles. That's why it's going to feel like a gift, because you could have just been trying to survive, man. You and me both, right? You know, when you're going through really hard things, the only thing you're thinking about is like, how do I get out of here? And that's correct, right? You know, that's a primal instinct for a reason. So that could have been, that's what I mean. This stuff doesn't look pretty. It doesn't mean you have to be sitting there like this holy, like monk in the cave with the hermit, like meditate. I mean, maybe. But I'm just saying, it's like you could be like crashing out or something, even like with the Queen of Wands and stuff. You know, you could even be like, fuck this and fuck you. And, you know, it could be kind of like messy, even. I'm hearing something about a messy divorce. I don't know. I'm just saying, guys, don't be hard on yourself, because you could be like, I gotta get out of here. I hate this. I can't stand this anymore. But since you're who you are, this hermit, this empress, this charioteer, this magician, really, since you're connected to these high level things, you naturally transmute all of this negative shit into blessings for yourself. So again, you you could have just been like, I gotta get out of here, or I gotta fix this, or I gotta change this. But all the while, it was actually like you were ascending, like you were transforming in this Merkaba energy. And so when you come out the other side, you're showing up as the Queen of Wands here. When you come out the other side, you're not just like, oh, damn, like brush my shoulders off. Like, I'm glad I made it here. It's much deeper than that. You made it here, and here's $7 million with the Wheel of Fortune. You've won. I'm hearing a loud like bell going off, like, you're the winner, winner, winner. Like, I'm hearing an alarm. And you're this Queen of Wands, and you're like, I'm on TV. Like, you're on TV, you're on like the local news, and you're like, I won? And they're like, you won $7 million. And you're just like standing there like, really? I won? No, it might not be that literally, but with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like that though. And with the card of the gift as well. See, guys, that's this energy. That's what I was feeling into, was actually this Wheel of Fortune. But I was getting all of that energy coming through on the 6 of Pentacles, because I felt like, putting myself in the position of the one receiving this message, I felt like I was receiving a wonderful gift. And it's this here. It's the Wheel of Fortune. You know, and of course that looks different for everybody. It's not going to be like tangible money for everybody, but for some, I mean, with the 5 of Pentacles and the Empress and stuff, for some of you, and the 6 of Pentacles, you know, it really can become practical when you're blessed in the spirit world. As above, so below. If you are respected in the spirit realm and you are ascending and you're somebody of wisdom with the Hermit, the way you're blessed in the physical, tangible reality can sometimes be literal, like money, for example. But I'm also seeing something about like being blessed with this sense of self that you never had before, like this confidence. It has to do with this introspection, this inner journey with the Hermit and the Queen of Wands that has transformed you. Really, it's into this Empress. It's transformed you into this Empress. But I'm seeing this Empress since she was at the bottom of the deck. I'm seeing this as more like a goddess energy or a higher version of yourself that called this aspect of you out of your shell. It allowed you to rise to the occasion with the Queen of Wands, to face your fears, to overcome adversity. That's the true blessing, and that's what money can't buy, is like identity, character, truth, justice, morals, magic with the Queen of Wands. So much love, everybody. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Hope you enjoyed this 2-part series. You have been updated all about the Merkaba, and I would love to spend more time on the Merkaba another day, and like all the experiences that I've had with what I would consider to be the Merkaba. And let me know, guys, if you have any experiences specifically with the Merkaba energy. I'd love to hear your stories. That's very, very interesting to me. And we'd all love to hear it. So let us know, guys, like the cool spiritual experiences you've had. And I'd love to read about it. So much love, everybody. Remember, you can always listen to The Metamystic Show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST, as well as on my YouTube channel at The Metamystic. Remember to follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at The Metamystic if you want to get daily 3-minute readings. Little bit shorter than the show, but we still get the message across, right? So I'd love to have you follow me on all my platforms, guys. I love ya. If you'd like to book a personal, you can always email me. I want to thank everybody who donates to support the show, and I'll see you on the next one.